Let us talk about some issues that are very important to all of us. For me personally, it's important to say the truth, for example. Yet often, and when it counts the most, it takes bravery, character to say what you believe is true. What is your approach to truth, even though I know that you are very direct?
Well, in the next book I wrote, it's called Beyond Order, 12 More Rules for Life. I have a chapter 3, which is entitled Do Not Hide Things in the Fog. And it pertains to, it's a extension of a chapter in the first book, which was do not lie or tell the truth, or at least do not lie. It's hard to tell the truth, but you can tell when you're lying, and you cannot do that. One form of lie, which is more subtle, is to be silent when you have something to say. When your conscience is demanding of you to state something, it's often a consequence of conflict. And the reason that people don't speak up is because they don't want to engage in the conflict, even though they may know that it's necessary and they may pay a big price for it. So there's a kind of lie that's a sin of omission rather than a sin of commission. And that's the lie of not investigating something when you know that there's something rotten in the state of Denmark, for example, and that you could discover it if you delved into it, or to remain silent when you have something to say. Those are more subtle forms of deception, but assuming that your vision and your ability to speak, your ability to pay attention and your ability to speak is worth something, then you deprive yourself of your highest attribute, and you deprive others of that highest attribute too, when your conscience is requiring you to attend and to speak and you refuse. And I think the consequences of that for you are likely to be quite dire as time progresses too, because you're storing up trouble for the future.
But today, it's important to tell the truth or to relate to facts because of everything that happens. Is it a lost battle, do you think?
I don't think it's ever a lost battle, but I think it's always a battle. People have the capacity for deception and for self-deception, and we struggle all the time within the confines of our own souls and in our social institutions as well with expediency, say, versus truth, or expediency versus meaning. I believe that the truth prevails in the end in some sense, because the truth is related to reality and there's no circumventing or skirting reality. Maybe you can do it for a short period of time, and if you're narcissistic and entitled, then maybe you believe that you can get away with it. But one of the things that I've insisted upon in my books is that, well, for example, as a clinician, I've never seen anyone get away with anything. I mean, I've dealt with many people who had all sorts of problems, and you can trace the genesis of the problem when it's not due to simple bad luck or catastrophe, because that often